that was arrested development. So there is news coming out, and I don't know that this is all that shocking that the coronavirus is disproportionately affecting people in the African American communities. It shouldn't be that shocking because I think Malcolm X once famously said that if America gets a cold, then black people get the flu. Almost everything happens exponentially worse for us. If the unemployment rate is 3.8%, it is double for black people. If people are incarcerated, we bear the brunt of that. If people are there lack of resources, we bear the brunt of that. The environments that we live in are where everybody dumps everything. People are talking about the mitigating circumstances. Obviously, we live in more crowded communities. Obviously, our health has been compromised because of diets and environment. But one of the things that we have to make clear is society's part in that. It is hard to talk about a diet when your nearest your nearest grocery store is an average of 17 miles away, and when it costs more to feed them, less to feed them garbage than it does to feed them wholesome food, or when they go to the doctor and nobody believes them and give them less pain medication and less attention. And there is a lot of mistrust in our communities, and deservedly so. So there are many reasons that black people and Latin people bear the brunt of this disease. Oftentimes, it is a socioeconomic thing because it is so expensive to be poor in America that almost no one can afford it. Rich people can't afford to be poor. It is too expensive. You pay more for insurance. You pay more for gas. You pay more for laundry. You pay more for virtually every service, everything. And so it is no surprise that when America is faced with a pandemic, it is exacerbated for black people. I said on a couple of months ago, I said that black people tend to vote differently than everybody else. Conservatives vote because they want things to stay the same. Liberals are aspirational; they want things different. Black people tend to vote to survive. It is our very survival that is at stake. Now, do you remember when Donald Trump famously in Michigan, August 19th in Michigan, in front of an all-white audience, he famously told black people, you live in ghettos, your streets are full of crime. What do you have to lose? What do you have to lose, he says. Well, right now, you've lost your employment. You've lost your way. You've lost loved ones. You have lost life as you knew it. Because let me tell you something. Because for all the problems that all the other politicians have and parties have, can you imagine any other politician being this negligent, this far behind? He says that, well, I didn't want to, not acting on information that he might have had maybe 4 or 5 months ago. We're under, of course, no one has what they need. No one has the respirators they need. Nobody has the mask that they need. Nobody has the attention that they need. And if they don't have it, what do you think that means for us? I read an article and it said what will happen when doctors have to decide who gets the respirators. You already know what will happen. What do you have to lose, Donald Trump says. Then he says, well, he didn't act on this information because he's a cheerleader for America. Well, give me a D, give me an A, give me an A, give me another D. You know what it spells dead? As in 13,000 Americans and counting. Can you imagine anybody else doing this? Anybody else being this negligent and laissez-faire about something so detrimental? But if it happens bad for America, it is worse for us. What do you have to lose, he asked black people. What do you have to lose? You live in deplorable conditions, your streets are full of crime. What do you have to lose? Black people now are disproportionately affected by this disease more than any other ethnic group. What do you have to lose? Your lives. That's a little note from the GED section. We got the Jazz Report coming up in 15 minutes. It's the D.L. Hughley Show.